Hi guys, and welcome to Creatography Live. Today we're going to have another short 10-minute tutorial on how to create your own signature and copyright for your own pictures. So lately there's been a trend going on with these fancy calligraphy type signatures. People have been paying actual companies, maybe up to about $80 to actually create their own signature just so they can sit there and use them on the photos. Well, we're going to do it a nice, cheaper and more natural way. This is going to involve you using your smartphone if you have one, or whatever, a camera, piece of paper, get yourself a pen and write down your signature a few times. And then once you've done that, take a photo of your signature, and then what we're going to do is we're going to import it right now into Photoshop. So here's my lovely signature, which it looks awful, but it'll do the job because it's actually mine. And the first thing we have to do once it's been imported is we're going to have to sit there, get rid of this grey looking texture. I mean, it was white, it was a white piece of paper, it's just the way my crappy camera phone's taking the image. So we're going to go into adjustments and levels, and if you see here, you can pick your white point, your black point and your mid-tone. So our white point is obviously this paper, so we want to get this as white as possible. You can see here, and we're going to pick our blacks, and obviously our blacks are going to be our signature because that's the pen that we've used, so we get that as dark as possible. Then we're going to get our magic eraser tool and then click the two white areas where you can see we have the problem, and you can see now we already have a transparent signature. So now you're looking at that thinking that's not very good. In all honesty, that really wouldn't pass very well. Maybe okay for some. Press Control and select the layer that we've got our signature on, and you'll see that you have your marching ants around it. If you right click, you want to make that into a work path. Tolerance 2 pixels, that's fine. Press OK. Now what you want to do is hide your top layer, so the actual layer with the signature. You know what, I'll be a good boy for once. I'll actually label that layer Sig, and we can hide that because this is now what we're going to be working with. Now the reason we're working with this is so we can actually tidy up our signature. Now if you can see here, because of the tolerances that we've used, some curves are going to be really nice, and then you're going to have these horrible straight edges here. So you're going to want to go to your tools. Now I can't remember what we call this one, I'll tell you in a sec. Direct selection tool, and start smoothing out your signature. So I'll sort out all the edges and make it look nice and smooth. Now this bit all comes down to you. If you want to take the time to do it, you'll have a better result. If you're going to do it really, really quick, then basically whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. It doesn't take that long. My one, it took me about 10 minutes, roughly 10 minutes. So it's all about just trying to keep the shapes all natural and the curves. Sometimes if it's so small, you know, you can see just here if you zoom all the way in, it's got a little kink. You can sit there, spend the time to get it out. There you go. But you won't really see that. Once we fill this in, you really won't see these little inconsistencies too much. But being a perfectionist I am, I'm even going to try and get this one right, even though I've done it about 6-7 times, trying to find the quickest method I could for you guys. I went round the entire signature and I smoothed off all of the edges that I could smooth off, just to give it nice and round, keep it nice and smooth. Now this is where the fun bit comes in. Now we've done this, all we have to do and be good if we actually highlight it and we can see So to create ourselves a layer, right click, and we want to fill subpath. Now the best settings to have, make sure it's, I haven't even picked my black yet, so let me go back, make sure my foreground is black. Right click on your path, fill subpath. Now your feather radius should be, I picked 0.1. It just gives it a nice soft edge but not too soft. So press OK, and I've done it again. Let's select the entire selection. There we go. Right click, fill path, feather radius 0.1, using your foreground color, press OK. Let's deselect our path, and there you go. That's basically my signature, all free and ready to use. Now there's one part that's missing. Sometimes you see they'll have a bit of text just underneath. So what we will do, we'll quickly do some writing. Let's shrink that down. Now normally when you see the common ones that I'm seeing a lot of, the first letters are always a lot larger. So we'll pick 120 for the A and 120 pixels for the photography part. And you can see here. Now I'll make it a bit smaller. And I think for me, oh, I'm not sure where I'd put it. I think just here will do actually. There you go, just there. And remember, this is all transparent. Right, so we want to select these two now. So we're just going to press Control and Shift, and we're going to press our signature layer and then our text layer. And you can see now they're both highlighted. We're going to go to Edit, Define Brush Preset, give it a name. So I'll call this Second Sig, because it's the second one I've done, and press OK. Now that's it. You've actually now used your own signature. You've tweaked it a little bit from what it was originally, so we can show you that. So we have my signature here, and there's the original. So you can see where we've just smoothed off, here where it's flat, here where it's quite sharp, here where it's flat. We've just added it here where you can see the full stop. I rounded that off slightly. You don't get this patchiness in between here anymore. Everything just nicely smoothed out a lot more. So now we're going to actually use this signature to show you exactly what it'll look like. So here's one of my images I've done with Lovely Veronica. This was in a shoot up in Malcop. We're going to pick white, make sure our flow is 100%, opacity 100%, and we're going to just place this signature nicely right down the bottom. Bang. And for me, that looks nice. It might be a bit too big, so if it is too big, shrink it down. And you can have your signature down there. Remember, this is a high-res image, so you can still see it just fine. Some people, what they like to do, if you don't want to do it just like that, put your signature down on another layer and just turn your opacity down so it blends in. Also, once you have it done like this, you can add yourself a nice drop shadow if you wish to. Now these are not necessary, this is just me showing you a few different methods if you wanted to use. So now you can see you have, if it stops being silly, there we go. You just have a very slight drop shadow, so it just jumps off the page a little bit more. And there you have it. Nice signature with your name, and it's the real deal. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any other suggestions, or if there's something I've not explained very well, just give me a shout, and I'm happy to update this or add another one. If you don't know how to do the whole writing down the signature and importing it from your phone or from a camera, just let me know. So please subscribe, give me a like, and please give me your comments. Thank you. See you again next time.